Okay, hey everyone there. I'm just here to talk about, get some buzz going about the different guys in Zoey's life. Erik, Heath, Stark, and Kalona. Alright, now I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say things that if you haven't read Tempted or Hunted, or if you haven't read Tempted and Hunted, basically, you are not going to want to watch this, okay? Because I'm going to say some things and you're going to be like, oh, when did that happen? Alright, so you should totally, click the little stop button if you're still sticking around. I'm going to start off with Erik and how I don't like him. He was like so perfect in the beginning. He was too perfect almost, and I knew something was going to go wrong with him. I knew it because he was too perfect. He was sweet, he was kind, he was an actor, and he got grades. And then he turned into a vampire, and he was just dream guy. And then in Hunted, you started to see his jealous side. And at first I was like, okay, he has the right to be jealous because Zoey did just cheat on him, and he did happen to walk in on it. Well, then in Tempted, he gets even worse, and it's ridiculous. It seriously, I was so happy when she dumped him because he got so bad. Now, I mean, I could maybe see them getting back together, but I highly, highly don't recommend it. I hope that PC doesn't do that because I think he is too clingy. He really is. He's too clingy. And the fact that he also hooked up with Venus right after they broke up, that's like a shout of desperation. And I really think that she needs to have him shut his mouth because I think Stark should have shot him by now. I'm not even kidding. So, yeah, that's what I opinion on Erik. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to tell you who I think should play them in the movie that's coming up in 2011. Tom Welling. I totally see Tom Welling for him. I mean, the moment she described him, the Superman thing, I was just like, wow, Tom Welling, perfect for Erik. And the whole entire time I was reading the book, that's all I could picture was Tom Welling. All right, next I'm gonna move on to Heath, which I know Heath is dead, but I think that that PC's gonna have Zoey find a way to bring him back from Otherworld. I think that's why she had her soul leave the body, is so that she can save Heath. I don't know why she killed him, but I pray that she brings him back because Heath was like my second favorite male character, and he brought a new dynamic to this whole thing. I don't know. I just hope that he comes back. So I'm keeping him in the running because we don't know for sure that he's dead. Um, Heath, when I picture him, for some reason I pictured no one for the longest time. I couldn't find anyone that reminded me of Heath. And I saw a few people who said Chad Michael Murray, and I was like, oh, maybe. But then, I thought about a Cinderella story, and I saw him in the Cinderella story, and he had on a football uniform. And I'll think back, he was way scrawny, and he didn't. I don't know. I don't picture Chad Michael Murray as Heath because he's too thin and he's too gangly for me. I mean, not saying Chad Michael Murray isn't attractive, but not for Heath. Heath is supposed to be built. So I was flipping through some pages for Twilight, and for some reason, Keenan Lutz. I mean, seriously, I'm not a huge Emmett Cullen fan, and I really thought he looked stupid with the black hair. And then I saw him with his blonde hair, and I was like, oh my god, it is Heath. It's Heath Luck right there. And I know a lot of non-Twilight fans are going to be like, oh my god, no, don't bring Twilight into House of Night, blah, blah, blah. It's one person. Seriously, it's not like I'm saying Robert Pattinson should play Erik. That would be ridiculous. But Keenan Lutz, I mean, seriously, look at the pictures of him with blonde hair. He fits Heath to the T. Or at least in my eyes, he does. So yeah, that's what I think of him. And as of the character, I think that they were, I don't know, I really wished that they could have ended up together, but I knew in the end they couldn't because of him being a human. But I was hoping that whole consort thing would go on for them because they really do care about each other, and he really does bring a comfort to Zoey that none of the other characters can. I mean, she even mentions in Tempted that being in his arms was nothing compared, or being in Stark's. She mentioned that being in his arms was even better than being in Stark's arms, than her warriors. And I mean, him being a human and him being able to bring her that much comfort, I mean, I loved him as a character. And the only thing that was kind of bad with him is he used her bloodlust against her. And I mean, that was kind of naughty, and it was kind of like, no, bad, don't do that to her. But in the same respect, everyone was putting him down because he was a human and saying, oh, you can't be with her because you're a human. You can't be with her because you're a human. So he was, in all respect, he was only combating what they were saying by using the one thing he had against them, is that he could give her blood and they couldn't. Just like they were saying, we'll live forever and you won't. I mean, you really, that's all he was doing. At least that's what I mean, I loved Heath, so I mean, I might be making excuses for his character, but that's how I saw it. Okay, now on to my favorite character, which is Stark. Now, for Stark, I saw a lot of people who posted that they thought Kevin Zegers should play Stark. I love Kevin Zegers. He's a great actor, and he looks young, so he could probably play a character like that. But he really doesn't have upper body strength, in my opinion. He kind of is like just straight. And I was like, okay, I guess, because no one really else caught my fancy until I started watching Vampire Diaries. And the guy who plays Jeremy on Vampire Diaries, his name is Stephen R. Queen, and I was like, that is Stark. In my opinion, that kid is Stark. That's what I think Stark should look like. So, yeah. And the character, I think, out of all of the characters that PC has created for Zoey to make a love interest, I think Stark is the most perfect one for her because he has no past with her, so all they have is the future, and the little short, insy bitsy little past they had. I mean, when she first met him, she automatically had an attraction to him. Of course, Zoey is kind of like a hoe and does have an attraction to like every guy, but I mean, she was drawn towards Stark, and they already like put trust into each other before he died, and then after he died, he literally changed himself for her, and I thought that was the most adorable thing in the world. And like, I don't know. I just feel that they would be the most perfect couple. I mean, the only thing that they really have going against them is the whole he's red vampire and she's a blue vampire. He can't go out during the day thing. But really, that once Zoe becomes a full vampire, she's not going to really want to go out during the day. So I don't see what the problem is with that. I mean, if you can think of a really good reason they shouldn't be together, I would love to hear it because I can't think of any. It might just be because I love Stark as a character, but I don't know. I just tell me what you think. Um, the last male love interest for Zoe is Kalona, and I bring him in because in Tempted he becomes this huge love interest, where like the whole entire book is basically about should she be with him, should she not be with him. That was like what she was thinking about 99% of the book. And in my opinion, no, she should not be with Kalona. One, the world would end. Zoe cannot fix him like she fixed everybody else, and I wish she would get off her horse and just figure that out already. I'm hoping that the fact that he killed Heath and he better come back will like knock sense into her because I don't know. I hate that he's a love interest right now. I mean it's bugging the crap out of me, but I don't know. If you think that they should be together, I would love to hear why because I have no idea why they should be together, besides the fact that she was technically made to love him, but then another half of her was made to not love him. I'm thinking that Nynx is gonna come up with this whole, or the whole storyline is gonna have that Nynx was like helped to like create her. I don't know. I just think that they shouldn't be together because there's no real good things that could happen if them come together. And the only real thing they have going for them is that they loved each other in another life, but I don't really see how that's gonna work. Oh, and when I think of him, I think of Andre. You have to look this guy up. He looks perfect. Perfect. He wasn't my idea. I was searching DeviantArt and I saw someone who used him, and he's perfect for him. He's perfect. I see a lot of people using the guy who played Prince Caspian in the Narnia movie. He's way too young, in my opinion. He's way too scrawny. I mean, when I think of Kalona, I don't know. I picture this big guy, and that kid's just too too tiny for me. I don't know. Um, but yeah, that's what I think, and I want to hear your opinions. I mean, this is a 9-minute video, so tell me what you think. Your comments, rate. Come on, leave me whatever you want. I'm also coming out with a video of who I would have as my dream cast, so stay tuned for that. Some of the people I mentioned today, they are all in it. So yeah, rate and comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me who you think she should end up with, and leave me a little bit about every character. I don't care. I will post later. Talk to you later. Have a nice day.